Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over my team selection for game week 26. My wildcard is active. I'm pretty confident that these are the final players that I'm going to be going into game week 26 with. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, are you wildcarding this week? Subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, this is how my wildcard is looking as of right now. Kepa in goal, who's got Leeds at home. Henry, who's got Fulham at home. Gabriel, who's got Bournemouth at home. And Trippier, who's got City away. March, who's got West Ham at home. Rashford's got Liverpool away. Ødegaard and Saka with Bournemouth at home. Tony with Fulham at home, Kane with Wolves away, and then Haaland, Newcastle at home. Then the bench is Sanchez, West Ham at home, Mitoma, West Ham at home, Pinnock with Fulham at home, and then Botman with City away. So this is my wild card, and I'm pretty confident this is what I'm going to be going into game week 26 with. I'm going to go through all my picks individually now, just to kind of go over why I'm picking these players as opposed to other players, because I know there's a lot of kind of the wild card this week is very template, but there's also a couple of decisions that people are kind of umming and ahhing about, and I think that's going to be the difference. But either way, I've gone Kepa and Sanchez just so I can field 11 players in the game week 28 blank, because if I unfortunately go with Raya and Kepa, or Raya and Sanchez, even though I would love Raya in my team, he's such a good pick, it would not allow me to have 11 players playing unless I, use a transfer to bring in somebody else. So that's the only issue there. What I'm going to do with game week 28 though is I'm probably going to get rid of Haaland and bring in Watkins, who's got Bournemouth at home, I do believe, in that week. And I know not having Haaland is super scary, but he blanks in game week 28. Game week 29 I won't have him because I need to bring in my United players. I want to bring in Fernandes and Shaw that week. And then he's also got Liverpool, which again he can easily tear apart, but you never know. And then obviously game week 30, when he's got Southampton, I believe, I'll be bringing him back in. So I'm going to go with Haaland. I'm going to go without Haaland for 2 weeks, but one of them he's blanking, and the other one is one of not really one of the toughest fixtures this season, because Liverpool obviously haven't been up to their usual standards. But it's still going to be a big game, and hopefully he doesn't perform well in that game, and then I can just bring him back in game week 30. But anyway, that's kind of what I'm thinking of doing, hence why I don't really want to go Raya and Sanchez or Raya and Kepa, because then I can just use my transfer on Haaland, and then I can use my 2 free transfers to bring in United players in game week 29. That's just kind of the idea that I've got. Anyway, I've gone Henry and Pinnock in the Brentford defense. Obviously, Ben Mee is also an option. Very good aerial threat on set pieces and stuff, but he's 0.5 more than these 2 players, and when I'm bringing Haaland back in, obviously I'm going to lose money on him, so I kind of need to make that money somewhere else. And I don't necessarily think Ben Mee is a must. Like, he's more expensive than Henry and Pinnock, but Henry and Pinnock are both 90-minute men, and yeah, they're cheaper than him, and again, they're wing backs as well, so they can easily play there, which again could help with like bonus points and stuff like that. So I'm very fine with going with Pinnock and Henry. I've gone Gabriel over Zinchenko. In my video yesterday, I did actually have Zinchenko, but I did do a little bit of research and kind of just saw what people were saying. And there are Europa League fixtures coming up, and Zinchenko could potentially get rotated out with Tierney. Maybe Zinchenko will play in the Europa League games, and then Tierney will play in the not so crazy difficult to win Premier League games. And I know that every single game is a must win for Arsenal, but if they're playing like, I don't know, Bournemouth at home like this week, potentially he might rest Zinchenko and play Tierney instead. Like, this is just something that could potentially happen. Gabriel could also get rotated, but he's very much that 90-minute man, their best centre-back. I can't really see him going anywhere else. So I think he's just going to play every single game. He's also got that aerial threat as well. A lot of teams that are coming up against Arsenal in the near future concede a lot on set pieces as well, and obviously Gabriel is really good on set pieces. So that's why I've gone Gabriel over Zinchenko. But Zinchenko, not that he's a bad option at all. I think he's a bit of more of a bonus point magnet. But again, that fear of rotation is kind of putting me off him. Trippier is in this draft. Just obviously it's Trippier. Like, he's going to play Forest in the blank. He's got City away. I might not even play him this week either. City away is a really tough fixture, and I might play Pinnock instead. But I don't know if I want to go double Brentford. I'm not 100% sure. If I want to kind of put all my eggs in one basket with that, I'll have to have a think. Anyway, that's the back line. In midfield, I've got March, who is available to play. The manager has said that him and Estepinian are fine, which again causes a bit more of an issue in the defensive side of things with Brighton defenders. But I think if you're not going Sanchez, then yeah, Estepinian is probably the best Brighton defender to bring in, because he's got that assist potential, obviously bonus points and stuff like that. Obviously Rashford's on this draft. I'm not going to get rid of him. He's in the form of his life. Ødegaard and Saka. This is the other decision with Ødegaard. Ødegaard or Martinelli. Martinelli's been a lot more explosive in recent weeks. Obviously, we just saw what he did in the double. And Ødegaard, you know, hasn't been as good as I was expecting to, even though he did just score. But I think Ødegaard, with his expected minutes, is higher than Martinelli. And Nketiah is a doubt for the Bournemouth game, which means that Martinelli is probably going to start, and he's probably going to go play Trossard in that number 9 role again, which is fair. You know, that's one game and arguably one of the best games of the season for Martinelli. So that is going to be a little bit scary. But with Jesus, you know, he's very close to becoming back as well. And I think when Jesus is back, that is when the minutes will start getting rotated a bit between Martinelli and Trossard. So I think as of right now, I'm just going to stick with Ødegaard, but you know, Martinelli can definitely do damage this week at Bournemouth at home. I've also gone Saka, who is my captain this week. Again, could be Haaland, but I think I'm going to go Saka just because it's Saka and it's Bournemouth at home. Incredible fixture. Up top, Tony at home to Fulham. Again, a lot of people are worried that he might get this ban. I don't think that's going to come into place until like end of April at the earliest, so I think you're absolutely fine keeping him. Kane, obviously, with Wolves away, he's got to be in my draft, and then Haaland, who's got Newcastle at home. Yeah, I have to play those two, and then like I said, I'm going to downgrade Haaland into Watkins in game week 28, and then yeah, the bench obviously is just right there. Like, that's just because of the doubles and stuff coming up. So that's how my team is shaping up for game week 26, and I'm pretty confident it's who I'm going to end up going with. Obviously, there's another, I could go like McAllister or something instead of Mitoma or March, but I'm not 100% decided on that yet. I'll have to do a little bit more research, do a little bit more stat comparisons and stuff, and see who I'm going to go with, because this wild card, I have to get it all right. Like, I'm in a pretty good position now. I'm ranked 73k, but I think if I get this wild card wrong, it will hurt me. But if I get it right, I think it could definitely benefit. I could definitely benefit a lot from it. I'm trying to push to finish this season in the top 50k, and I think this wild card definitely could help me over the line. But again, there's still a long way left of the season. Let's move over transfers and stuff like that, because I've got 4.3 in the bank, so obviously I've got quite a bit of money left. And this is just what I'm going to be doing regarding chip strategy and stuff going into the future. So if you wanted to do something similar to this, this is the idea that I've got. So obviously game week 27 wild card, game week 27 I'm rolling because I don't need to bring in any players that week. And then game week 28, obviously I'll have 2 free transfers and I'll have 4 blanks. So in game week 28, I'll be taking Haaland out and bringing in Watkins. Would not be surprised if Watkins had a price rise by this time, and Haaland might even get a price drop potentially, which could help me out. But as you can see, I've got 8.8 in the bank, and I bring Watkins in for Haaland. So in game week 28, I've got a full 11 players, and then I'm going to bench March, Mitoma, or Rashford. Obviously, I'm going to be, I mean, to be fair, yeah, I have to play Kepa because Sanchez blanks too. So that's the 4 players, all blanking, all on the bench. So hopefully the rest of my team will play. I'm sure they will. And that's game week 28. Moving on to game week 29 is more double territory. And for game week 29, I'll be getting rid of Gabriel, because I know it's a bit crazy getting rid of an Arsenal defender, but Arsenal are going to have no more doubles coming up. And I just think it makes more sense to attack other teams. They are still good options, but they just become less valuable than other players. So for game week 29, I'm going to get rid of Gabriel. I'm going to bring in Luke Shaw, who obviously will have a double. I mean, there's not really any crazy standout doubles in 29, but you know, anything can happen at that point in the season. And then as well as that, I think it'll be Ødegaard that I get rid of as well for Fernandes, because I can't really see myself getting rid of a Brighton player, because they've got more doubles coming up, and there's no reason to get rid of them, because otherwise it would just hurt me in the long run. So game week 29, I'll be getting rid of Ødegaard, and I'll be getting rid of Gabriel, 2 Arsenal players, for Shaw and Fernandes. And I know that they do have a good fixture that week as well, but it is what it is. Like, Leeds at home is obviously a great fixture for Arsenal, but you know, I'd rather have 2 double players, 2 double game week players. So that's game week 29. So I'll have multiple players doubling there. In fact, that's also the week I'm going to be playing my bench boost, because I'm going to have everybody doubling, barring 2 single game week players. But that's going to be Saka and Kane. So yeah, absolutely fine keeping those. That'll be the week I bench boost. There is a lot of talk about bench boosting game week 7, which I do also like the idea of, because game week 29 is so far away. And obviously anything could happen there with like injuries and stuff. But with me, that's just kind of what I'm sticking to. And then game week 30 rolls around, and then I get rid of Watkins and I bring in Haaland back, who is currently 12.2 mil. So obviously I'm going to have to be buying him more for that, because he's just come in at my 11.8. So 12.2, that'll push me down to about 0.9 in the bank, give or take another 2.2 mil just in case of like price rise and stuff. We'll say 0.3. So I should be around game week 30 with 0.5 in the bank, and then this will be my game week 30 team on your screens right now. So I think I like that idea. Obviously game week 32 will be when I play my free hit, because I'm going to have like triple United, and stuff like that, and I just won't be able to field a team. So I will have to free hit in game week 32, which is a bit unfortunate. If United do lose in the FA Cup though, then that makes life a lot easier, because then they will play in game week 32, but it's very, very unlikely. So yeah, that's going to be the free hit week. And then obviously for game week 33 and 4 and stuff, I still have, you know, triple United, and that's when I can start piling on Liverpool players and City players and stuff who will be doubling, etc. So that's kind of the idea that I'm going with. Again, you probably watched a ton of other content creators this week coming up with like the same kind of idea. It is very template. It is just not, it's not the wrong, it's just a good idea. Like, it's a good path to take. That's why so many of us are talking about it, and that's why so many teams and wildcard drafts and stuff are so similar. It's just simply because it is one of the best things to do right now if your team needs it. Obviously, if you already have, you know, Brighton and Brentford players and stuff like that, then fair play, you don't have to wildcard. But for me, where I have 0 Brentford, 0 Brighton, I've got like Ake and stuff, who was a massive problem. I just wanted to get rid of them. So that's my wildcard draft for game week 26. Again, the only thing I'm not completely settled on is my Brighton midfielders, but you know, March is back, so I think I will go Matoma and March, but again, anything could change. I'll have to have a look at stats and stuff. But yeah, Saka captain, probably as well. Haaland vice captain. But yeah, that's my game week 26 wildcard. If you enjoyed, drop a like, leave a comment, let me know if you're wildcard this week. Subscribe if you're brand new. Until next time, peace.